August of 1994. Aside from containing the most important birthday in history, Aaron Louis Laurentiis, who was born precisely at 3:43 p.m. on August 11th, a lot more has actually occurred as I found out throughout my research. But I must say that the birth of Aaron Louis Laurentiis has had quite the impact on my life and continues to do so each and every day. Aside from a truck carrying millions of bees overturning on the New York Parkway, or the great band the Rolling Stones starting their Voodoo Lounge tour, or even the record-setting 102.4 degree Fahrenheit day in Tokyo, Japan, or even the first telephone set up between Israel and Jordan. A lot in sports actually took place throughout my birth month and year as well. To kick off the mini sports calendar that occurred in August, let's start with August 12th, when Fox Network actually aired their first ever NFL football game, the exhibition game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. Before Fox, CBS Sports has done every single NFL game. And when Fox Network broke into this market, CBS made sure to comment on each and every little mistake that Fox made on their debut. According to an article published in the Daily Press, David Poltrick, the CBS Executive Vice President of Research, took shots at Fox, saying that their ratings should have been a lot higher due to the fact how much effort they put into promoting the campaign, as well as the MLB strike that had recently just gone on to occur. Fox had a solid, not too radical debut with the Denver-San Francisco game, but the biggest twist was the running clock it showed regularly, both in the featured game and others in progress, which is something we still see today. Other than the birth of this media giant's takeover of the NFL market, the network that I actually watched the Lions on each and every Sunday throughout the season. Even bigger sporting news took place on August 12th, probably one of the most significant events in the MLB history. This was such a significant event that to this day, it continues to affect the league. On August 12, 1994, the players of the MLB went on strike due to the owners of the league voting 25-3 in favor of establishing a salary cap. The strike led to the cancellation of the postseason and actually remains to be the only season that has never actually had a true champion. The salary cap was tossed, however, eventually pulling the players out of their strike in 1995. Players ended up getting their way in the negotiations and remained with the status quo, and the average MLB salary has risen 178% since that time, from almost $1.2 million all the way to $3.3 million in 2011. This is how you continue to see insane contracts like Alex Rodriguez's contract, who until recently, throughout his legal troubles, was averaging $32.5 million each year off of his salary. Not all positive actually came out of the strike for the players, however. Although the NFL had always been leading when it came to popularity in sports in the country, the MLB took a huge hit when they took this time off and ended up taking a spot from the second, stepping into third place behind the NBA. 17 years later, even after the NBA had their own lockout, MLB is still unfortunately ranked third. But the sports drama for the August of 1994 didn't stop there. On 28th of the month, we saw Tiger Woods continue on his climb to becoming one of the greatest ever. Although it was early in his career, winning the 94th U.S. Golf Amateur Championships was a huge stepping stone into his golfing career. It was so huge that it actually propelled his name into national conversation about who might end up being one of the greatest of all time. This tournament was a true test for Tiger, as he had to overcome a 6-hole deficit just to win, become the youngest ever to do so at the age of 18. This was a massive shot heard around the world, starting up of media's love for Tiger. Woods, who would go on to attend Stanford in the fall, earned spots in the 1995 U.S. and British Open, along with his Masters invitation that he earned as a finalist earlier in the year. Needless to say, the August of 1994 was quite the kickoff for a variety of different sports, as well as the aspects surrounding them. But as we noted in the beginning, more than just a golf tournament and a little argument between baseball players and their bosses occurred. We saw two figureheads of the hip-hop society wed with their lovers. More prominently known, Notorious B.I.G. took the hand in marriage of Faith Evans, and then we saw R&B singer R. Kelly marry his lover, also another prominent hip-hop artist, Aaliyah. Things got even crazier when strange events like the Pentium computer beating the world chess champ Garry Kasparov, or when the last British troops actually left Hong Kong in September of 1841. That's when they had last been staged there. Overall, history is a great tool. not only for its pleasure in the stories it tells, but because of the vast wisdom that can be gained just by simply acknowledging its prior existence. Even though this is all may be true, even though the August of 1994 contained one of the most important events in history, Aaron Laurentius' birthday, we as a society aren't always so quick to learn from it. As the saying goes, history always repeats itself, and unfortunately, it never loses its luster. Thank you.